Hello and welcome to this video on Revelation, which is in the Philosophy and Ethics paper, looking specifically at the arguments for the existence of God. So, what is revelation? Well, revelation means to uncover something that was previously hidden. It's used in religion to describe God unveiling himself to humanity. Revelation is important because God is invisible, and so it's hard to know what he is like. But by revealing himself, humanity is better able to understand him. We are going to have a look at two of the ways that God has revealed himself. The first one is natural revelation, and the second one is special revelation. First, we'll take a look at natural revelation. Catholics believe that as the world around us contains such beauty and complexity, it reveals God's existence. The skies proclaim the work of his hands, taken from Psalms, means that the beauty of the skies show us the natures of God. This links to Aquinas' design argument. When looking at how vast the universe is, it evokes a sense of awe and wonder. This sense of awe and wonder is what Catholics call numinous. It's the idea that we're part of something that's beyond our understanding, beyond our comprehension, something that's bigger than us, which is God. Aquinas also states that as the world is so complex, there must be a designer. If we look at a watch, we could reasonably conclude that the watch had a designer. Aquinas goes on to apply this to the world. If we look at the world, we see how complex the world is. Therefore, we can reasonably conclude that it has been designed, and that designer is God. Now, the second type of revelation is special revelation. Although we can learn certain things about the nature of God through the natural world, God reveals himself further in the Bible. God reveals himself to Moses, for example, revealing himself face to face. God also gave the laws such as the Ten Commandments, which reveal to humanity the way in which he wants us to live our lives. The New Testament reveals even more of God's nature by Jesus, who is God incarnate or God in flesh. We're going to have a look at special revelation further by concentrating on Jesus. For Catholics, Jesus is seen as the culmination of revelation. This means that Jesus is the final revelation of God. God will not reveal himself again. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by a Son, taken from Hebrews. So God sent down his Son Jesus, who came to live among his people as one of us, as a human. Jesus came to make the teachings of the Old Testament clearer, and the teachings are summed up through Jesus' words and actions. His will was that men should have access to the Father through Christ. Through God becoming flesh in Jesus, and Jesus having a physical presence in the world, God's nature is revealed to humans, and that proves God's existence. Through God's final revelation of Jesus, we are better able to know and understand God. So, what does the revelation of Jesus show about God? Although we can never fully understand God, Jesus reveals that God is loving. Jesus taught us to love thy neighbour, which means we have to show love and kindness to everyone. Jesus did this in his teachings, for example, the Good Samaritan, and through his actions by healing the sinners. God is forgiving. Jesus taught us the Lord's Prayer or the Our Father. The line, "Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us," shows Catholics that God is willing to forgive us so long as we forgive other people. God sacrifices for humanity. For example, Catholics believe that God sacrificed his Son for humanity. For God so loved the world, he gave his only Son. Through the crucifixion, we see God's love for humanity as he sacrificed his own Son for the sins of humanity. Now, Catholics believe that we can to some extent understand the nature of God through natural and special revelation, but the full extent of God's nature will become much clearer in heaven.